Hello, everyone. This is Joe Infante, founder of LegalReviews.org. I have the pleasure today to interview Mark Eiglarsh, who's a prominent criminal defense attorney in the tri-state area of South Florida. He's been featured in numerous media outlets, including Fox News, CNN, The Today Show, 60 Minutes, and the list goes on. And I want to spend 15 to 20 minutes with Mark going through what sets him apart from other criminal defense specialists, and also get his insights into running a practice here in South Florida, and some other insights that he'll probably share with us. So let's get started with a few questions. So Mark, thanks again for being here with us.
It's my pleasure.
Good. I just wanted to get this conversation going, just out of curiosity, why did you become an attorney in the first place?
Well, I was an advocate since I was little. I loved arguing, and my folks said, why don't you try this speech and debate stuff? And I was very, very involved in that. I competed on the national level and then did moot court in law school and just tasted the criminal arena while I was in law school, and I was hooked. I just loved being an advocate.
Wow, that's amazing. It's funny, we have that in common. I was also on the speech and debate team in high school.
Oh, really? Where?
I was at Bronx Science up in New York.
Oh, no, that's a phenomenal powerhouse. Those guys were great.
I did Lincoln Douglas. I assume you did policy.
I was Florida State champion in extemporaneous speaking.
Okay, I did some extemp work as well. Interesting. Uh-huh. Well, phenomenal. Well, I'm glad we sort of found a little commonality there.
Yes.
Just in terms of your overall sort of day-to-day, what do you consider to be the most exciting part of your practice?
Helping people. I love to get a phenomenal outcome for my clients, and I can't control the situation. If there's a busload of nuns and a confession and DNA, that all can prove that my client did the crime, winning may be defined by just getting a phenomenal plea bargain, or winning the case on by filing a motion to suppress, or winning it on technical grounds. I just love being able to get a great outcome for my clients.
Well, I think that's something that most attorneys should strive for. Unfortunately, as you well know, it's not often the case.
I try to keep my head down. I don't know what others are doing. I just know that if I choose to take a case, I promise one thing to my client. They will get the best possible outcome that exists under challenging circumstances, and they'll never wonder, well, if I went with that other lawyer, would I have done better? They know that I fight hard. I'll turn down plea offers that my clients want to take because I say we could do better. And if I've already been paid in full, then they know that I'm working for their interests and not my own.
Understood. And, with that in mind, who would you describe to be your ideal client? Is there a prototype?
Well, let's be candid. First and foremost, they've got to have money. I'm in private practice, and I work for the public defender's office, and, nothing concerns me more than a client who wants to hire me but just doesn't have the financial resources. So I then, I might be in a tough spot. I don't want to have my hands tied behind my back when I'm litigating something. We need to be able to take depositions. We need to order the transcripts. We need to maybe hire investigators and experts. And so if somebody doesn't have the proper financial backing, that's going to hinder me greatly. Secondly, I like a client who just trusts in me, and most of my clients do, and just have faith, keep a positive attitude, and be realistic, and just stay loyal. Do what I tell them to do, and they'll come out okay. Understood.
Now, this is oftentimes sort of the most difficult question, just because we don't like to talk about this part, but what would you consider to be your biggest weakness?
That's a great question. My biggest weakness, probably that I can't come up with weaknesses. I mean, obviously there's something I'm not good at. Weakness. What am I weak at? My ego is not my amigo, so I don't take on matters that I don't think that I can handle. I refer those out. So I think that's a good thing. What's my weakness? Maybe.
Are you spread too thin sometimes, or you sort of...
Okay, good. Thank you. No, thank you. It takes other people pointing out my faults. Yes, the answer. That's it. That is it. I want to help people, and I want to do it not only in my practice, but also in the media. So I have 2 Fox News appearances that I commit to per week with Megyn Kelly. I get asked constantly at nighttime to do headline news appearances and others, and I look at it as, yes, secondly is an opportunity to promote myself, but first and foremost, I feel like there's going to be an issue that I'm going to help somebody with. So I'll always ask now, well, what's the topic? I used to not ask the topic because who cares? I can put my face on TV and it'll help me promote myself and my business. Now I want to know what the topic is. If it's, the Zimmerman case, or if it's Drew Peterson, if it's Casey Anthony, I am the guy who I feel like I can help people understand complex issues and get it right.
Understood. And I guess, this, you partly answered, I assume, my next question, which is, how are you improving on that weakness? And it seems you're being a little bit more diligent as to what you take on. Yeah,
I listen to 4-year-olds, and they have a word that I use now often. That's no. They learn the word no. I just have to say no. Tonight, for example, I'm telling you right now, I have Headline News asked me to do 7 to 8 p.m., and I said no because it's the first day of school. My kids are coming home, and we're having a family dinner, and I just don't want to spread myself too thin.
Understood. Now, what's your biggest strength?
My biggest what?
Strength.
I would say passion followed by compassion. I'm very passionate. I feel very strongly. If I don't, then I don't take the case, or if I think that a client is using me because they have a drug problem and they're trying to get me to be their enabler, I just won't do it. So I would say using my passion to help a client and care more about the issue than anybody else is probably my greatest strength, followed by compassion. I feel for everyone, including the prosecutors and the judges that I'm dealing with.
Wonderful. Now, in terms of your day-to-day in operating and running a practice, how do you like doing that, and what would you change in your day-to-day routine to make it better?
Well, I'll tell you why I love doing it, because I have it set up perfectly. I don't like doing all the day-to-day, so I found somebody, my legal assistant, who is just phenomenal. I trust her implicitly, and so she does all the things I just don't want to do. Bookkeeping, the mail, the dealing with the accountant, all the administrative stuff, and I feel like I can trust her implicitly.
And in terms of special insights you could offer to potential clients about criminal defense specifically, that maybe by going to your website they really are not going to grasp, or even if they go to a competitor's site, what is it about the practice that they need to have their ears and open?
Well, first of all, I help educate the client, even to my own detriment. I tell them about all the different outcomes that they could get very easily, even without me, and I tell them what I'm able to do for them, and I tell them to research me, find out all about me, compare me to the others out there. Clients who hire others, I think sometimes just don't get it. They pay less money and think that that's the way to go, and oftentimes those are the ones who come back to me and say, I wasted my money with this person, I should have gone with you. So I think it's important for a client to be educated. Take your time and Google someone, research them, find out everything you can about them, their reputation. Have they authored any articles? Do they speak? Do they teach at the law school like I do? Things that would tend to suggest there's some credibility and something to back up the words that are flowing from their lips. And then they'll make the best decision.
Anything else you would add that perhaps people don't know about you that they should know, and sometimes you forget because you don't think it's important?
Probably. I'm very spiritual. I'm not necessarily religious, but spiritual. And why does that matter? I'm a meditator. Every day I'm praying and meditating. And while that used to sound flaky to me, people who did that, it's led me down a wonderful path that causes me, first of all, to be impeccable with my word. Im is Latin with impeccable essentially means without sin. Mm-hmm. So that means not only do I tell the truth to clients, but I also don't bend the truth. I have to be comfortable with inside. And so I'm very honest to my clients. They see right away that I'm just open and honest with them. And I think that's very hard to come by with attorneys. I've dealt with attorneys, and many are not honest. And so I pride myself on that. Also, accessibility. I keep my cell phone on till 11 p.m. I used to have it up on all night. And after 5 o'clock, the calls are forwarded to my cell phone. So clients can reach me right away if they need me. I don't have to do that at this point in my practice, 20 years of doing it, but I do. Just because, again, I want to help people.
That's amazing. Well, listen, I really appreciate your insights and taking the time to share some of the things that make you different and stand apart from all the rest. I know you have other family commitments this evening, so I'll let you get to them. But certainly love to have you again sharing more insights about being a phenomenal criminal defense attorney.
I thank you, and I appreciated the opportunity. It was very insightful for me to go within and try to answer some of these great questions. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.